Guys, welcome back to DK Garage. Today we're going to be working on Tom's WRX. He's got an oil pressure gauge that he needs to install. So.
Oh no, do that! Then I'll come up. Then I'll do
Alright, but seriously, today we are doing an oil pressure gauge install. What's he
That is
done?
a fucking $200 fucking UHF. If you snap it, you're a dead man.
Alex, chill the fuck down.
You fucking stepped on my UHF area, mate. That's
Yeah, apparently. Yes, so
So we're doing an oil pressure gauge on Tom's car. So at the moment, he's got one in there, but they replaced the gauge, and for some reason, the sensor and the gauge aren't talking together, and it doesn't turn on.
Yep.
So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to check that all the connections in it are getting voltage and the continuities right. So yeah, we'll jump in the car with a multimeter and check that out.
sweet. Alrighty, this is Tom's gauge holder.
We've already pulled it apart.
Yeah.
So when you're using the multimeter
Oil pressure.
and you want to check for voltage, see the little straight line with the dots under it, the V, you want to check the DC current just to check if it's getting voltage. Now, this is the plug from the back of the gauge. So it's got 4 wires, so I'm assuming it's going to be a power ground and then either a trigger and then a signal. So the red and the black, so the red will normally be the power, the black will be the ground. So that'll be where we're going to start. So I need to find a ground on the chassis, so I'm just using the bolt underneath the car. And then I'll put the red end on the plug, and Tom needs to turn his car on. I'll put that. Mate, this is really hard doing it with one hand. And, we're getting 12 volts. So
That's good.
That means the gauge is getting power, so it's either a problem with the
It'd be the gauge itself.
the gauge itself or the sending unit. So
Yep.
yeah, we'll start pulling this gauge out and then have a look at the wiring and what we need to do.
Alright, Thomas, what you doing down there, buddy?
Oh, good.
He's talking on his fucking missus. Unbelievable.
He's a changed man.
Hurry up.
He used to be cool.
So what we're doing here is we're taking out the old sensor, which is plugged into a sandwich plate above the oil filter. So it's just threaded in here, so I'm just taking it out. And we could see that the positive is here, and then they've grounded it just up under the oil pan here. I don't know if you can see that.
I can get up there for you.
Can you see there where they've just put a little loopy thing through one of the bolts for the oil pan?
Yeah,
which is a bit
just,
weird,
yeah.
but anyway, that is how it is.
Alright.
So I'm just going to slowly take this out.
Yeah.
So on this old one, they've only got 1 wire going to it, but our current one has 2 spots for wires, so we're going to have to figure that out as well.
It'll be a ground.
You're a ground. Yep.
Yeah, you got him. You tell him, Tom.
Yeah.
He's a
Right.
ground.
He's a ground.
Are you filming? Right, so this is fucked. Alright. I'm gonna put it like that. So
We're not gonna get monetized now, Kyle, because we were making so much money beforehand.
So for starters, this instruction says that there should be black, green, brown. This loom here doesn't even have a brown wire, so that's fun. So I'm thinking what we're gonna have to do is just send it, just twist it together with this loom. So cut this off and then try and guess what each of the wires do until we get it right. So
Okay. It's not the worst thing we've done. We'll see.
Well, we can see where the power and ground for the actual gauge are, so
Yeah,
we
the
can
power
swap
and ground
them
are
very
here.
easily.
it'll just be, so the green and the yellow here would be the ones that are getting the signal from the old sensor.
Right. But, so when I go down there,
So,
underneath,
the
there's
next-
a ground for the gauge, but there's only 1 wire going into the centre, so but there's 2 there. Yeah, I know.
So do you have any of this? 'Cause we're gonna have to
That's
rerun
cool.
it.
Oh, he's in trouble. The missus is blowing up. Oh shit. Alright people, so currently we are doing some wiring stuff. What's the go, Kyle?
So we've managed to work out, by a process of elimination, that these two need power.
Which is white and red.
And unfortunately, our black wire, which is supposed to be the ground, is actually giving us 12 volts.
Which is odd.
So we've been grounding it down here for now. But these two wires, which is supposed to be the signal wires, are giving us nothing. So maybe one of them's the ground and the other one's not. I don't know. So at this stage, we're just doing it out of the car. Tom's going to blow into the end of that the pressure sensor, and we're going to see if it works. So yeah, we've still got a little bit of wiring to get it working, but we'll get back to you. So we've got the gauge pretty much sorted. The only problem is the ground. None of these wires are actually grounded properly. So this ground here must cross over with the power somewhere because it's not working. So Tom turns the car on, and I'm holding the...
You're holding the point onto a ground.
Yeah, I'm holding the ground. Turn it on top.
Just ignition.
Just ignition, yeah.
So she comes on, which is good.
And we do have a pressure, which is 0.
Yes.
So if you turn the car on, I'm hoping that number goes up. Well, that's embarrassing. That's really embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, guess I have to get back to you when we fix this one.
It went up to 2.
Okay, so what we've done is...
We worked it out.
Yeah.
So Tom left the oil pressure, the oil fill cap off. For some reason,
Not for some reason.
that affects the gauge. Well, you still have oil pressure.
What do you mean for some reason? There wouldn't be oil pressure with it off.
You still have pressure at the pump, though.
Yeah, but that's not where we're reading it.
Okay. Where are you reading it?
Oil cooler.
So this should work now. Turn it on.
Well, just, yeah.
There we go.
See.
Alright, so we're going to tidy up this wiring a little bit, do some soldering, and then, yeah, chuck her back in.
Show you when she's in, I guess.